Good afternoon, my friends. I'm in the neighborhood of Bir Mourad Rais in Algiers, and I'm going to show you how to drive from this neighborhood to the neighborhood of Bab El Oued, and more precisely to an area of Bab El Oued in the upper parts of Bab El Oued called or known as Trioli. Okay. So for your information, I'm here more precisely in a road called Sidi Yahya, okay? So this is the exit of Sidi Yahya. This is the place or the part of Sidi Yahya where the Sidi Yahya road ends, and you know, it joins the neighborhood of Bir Mourad Rais, okay? And now we are going to try and join the highway, the Ben Aknoun Highway that I already showed you in another video, and from there on to Bab El Oued. So Bab El Oued is one of the oldest neighborhoods of Algiers. It's on the seashore. It's in the western part of Algiers, of the city, and it's not very far from the Kasbah of Algiers. The Kasbah, by the way, is the oldest parts of Algiers, the Algiers old city. So the original Algiers was in fact founded there in the Kasbah, okay? And when the Europeans came in 1830 in order to colonize Algeria, they one of the first neighborhoods they built was Bab El Oued. So Bab El Oued was there right from the beginning of the colonization. That's why you can find lots of colonial buildings there, especially apartment buildings. Some of the oldest buildings, colonial buildings of Algiers, are located there in Bab El Oued. And the meaning of the neighborhood is, so Bab El Oued is Arabic for the door of the river, the door of the river. So for your information, the Kasbah, the Algiers old city, was surrounded by walls. It was a citadel. It was an old city, like those old cities that you see that are featured in Middle Ages, in medieval Europe, or in the Middle Ages. So Algiers was like a fortress. It was a city completely surrounded by walls in order to protect it from the attacks, from external attacks. And it of course had many gates to it, many doors, and one of the famous doors was Bab Jdid, which is now a neighborhood right above that city, adjacent to that city, okay, to the city of Algiers, to the old city of Algiers, to the Kasbah. And I guess that Bab El Oued was one of those, was another door to that city, okay, although maybe we need to check this information later, okay. And anyways, Bab El Oued simply means the door of the river, because in fact Bab El Oued is in the lower parts of Algiers on the seashore, but the road that, or the route that we are taking today, goes through a valley. It goes through a valley that must have been that river, okay, that river after which that neighborhood is called or is named. So now we have just joined the highway, the Ben Aknoun Highway. We are driving by the neighborhood of Said Hamdin, and it's two bus stations. One is on the right and the other one is on the left. You can see these drivers that are driving in a very careless way. It's a Friday afternoon, it's March 26. Usually there is traffic around here. Usually there is some traffic around here. But you know, I wouldn't call that traffic by Algiers standards, okay? I, as a resident of Algiers, I wouldn't consider this as traffic, okay? So traffic is slow a little bit, but it's not a traffic jam by any means. This highway is called the Ben Aknoun Highway because you know, it's named after after a neighborhood, one of the major neighborhoods of the higher parts of Algiers, Ben Aknoun, okay? And of course it can lead you to Zeralda, which is the last town or the last municipality in the province of Algiers, the westernmost, in fact, the westernmost municipality in the province of Algiers. And when you leave the territory of Zeralda, you enter the wilaya, or the province of Tipaza. So this road goes all the way to Zeralda and on into the province of Tipaza, which is on the western border of Algiers. You can see the entrance of Hydra on the right. Hydra is one of the major neighborhoods of the higher parts of Algiers. And now we are driving towards City Melki, which is adjacent to Ben Aknoun. So you can see Ben Aknoun on the right, on the sign which is on the right. And this is the first entrance to Ben Aknoun, in fact. Okay, this Ben Aknoun is a huge neighborhood, and it has many entrances. One of which is here on the right. Oh, this is the entrance. This is the entrance to Val d'Hydra, and right after it you will find the entrance to Ben Aknoun. One needs to drive a little bit. So yes, Val d'Hydra on the right here, and on to El Biar. And the entrance to Ben Aknoun is right after it, over there on the right. So this is the first entrance to Ben Aknoun, okay? And because it's a Friday afternoon, there is not much traffic. I mean, not much. There aren't traffic jams, in other words, okay? Some people tend to drive very fast and even carelessly, so you've got to be a little bit careful, okay? So the Ben Aknoun Highway was widened in the 1990s, in the end of the 1990s, 1997, 1998. And this is in order to accommodate more traffic, more cars, as the number of cars started to grow in Algiers back in the 1990s. Cars became affordable, and more and more people purchased cars. You can see a sign, another sign of Ben Aknoun here, and this is the second entrance to Ben Aknoun. It's such a huge neighborhood, in fact. And through this entrance, you can also go to other neighborhoods like El Ashor and Wad Ramman and Dararia. Algiers has so many suburbs. And by the way, we have just arrived in the S of Ben Aknoun. This road is is known as the S of Ben Aknoun, and it's shaped as an S, and it's in fact it's a double curve or a double bend, and it's a little bit dangerous to run at high speed here. See, this S or this bend here, or this double bend, is in fact a dangerous spot, a dangerous area where so many accidents take place. And we are taking the right here in order to go to Bab El Oued. You can see City Olympique and Bouzeria, okay? So it's the same road. Okay? This road that leads to Bab El Oued is also the same road that leads to the neighborhood of Bouzeria, the highest neighborhood in Algiers, 700 meters above sea level. And also City Olympique, or the Olympic City, or the Olympic District, or whatever they call it. And it's, in fact, it's a compound. It's an Olympic compound where Algeria's largest stadium is located. The July 5th Stadium. And right in front of us, you can already see it. You can already see that stadium. The July 5th Stadium. It's named after Algeria's Independence Day. So our Independence Day is on July 5th. I've got to pause filming for a little while here, I think. Or the road is in a horrible state. It's in a horrible state. It's bumpy. It's you know, it's very rough. Okay, we didn't have to stop filming, we didn't have to pause filming. And now, look, the stadium is on our right, and as I said, our Independence Day here in Algeria is July the 5th. So Algeria got its independence on July 5th, 1962. And it's almost, I mean, it almost coincides with the American Independence Day, which is on July 4th. Now, there is a beautiful wood on my right, by the way, a beautiful wood. This is the Ben Aknoun forest. It's known as the Ben Aknoun forest. And many families come on weekends and even on our ordinary days in order to picnic here or have fun and, you know, bring their kids to play. And there are playgrounds. In fact, there are playing grounds, and there are also you know, spaces for people to exercise and to work out and to, you know, to jog. See, there is a jogging trail there. So this vehicle is slowing us a little, slowing us down a little bit. And now, look, we have just arrived in an area called Chevalet. Okay, this is in fact the juncture between Algiers, Bousseria and Bab El Oued. And now we are taking this tunnel in order to skip the roundabout where there usually is traffic. You can see the tunnel here. It's one of Algiers' longest, although it's not as long as the Oued Shayah tunnel. This is one of the longest underpasses of Algiers. And it really, you know, it's a really good tunnel because we have just avoided one of the bottlenecks of Algiers roads. Okay, and now we're on the other side of the tunnel, and we have just entered the Frais Vallon Road. And Frais Vallon, by the way, means fresh or cool or cold valley or cold ravine. Okay, and this place has a story. Okay, it has a sad story. On November 10, 2001. November 10, 2001. There was a disaster here, a major disaster. Massive floods. Okay, this area was hit by massive floods. It rained it had rained for 24 hours, for 24 consecutive hours that day. So it rained day and night. Okay, and then in the morning of that day, massive floods took place here because, in fact, this is a riverbed. This is the river I told you about earlier. So this, in fact, is a riverbed. You can see, you know, the hills are all around us here, or the cliffs. In fact, there are even cliffs. And now they have become neighborhoods. But in the past, 200 years ago, nothing of this existed. Okay, nothing of this existed. It was just wilderness. It was just forests. This was actually outside, in the countryside, outside of the city of Algiers. And you know, Algiers wasn't as big as it is today, as you can see it now here in this video. So, all right, in 2001, there was a flood here that killed over 700 people. Some say it killed as much as 2,000 people. 2,000 people. But official statistics stated that, you know, 700 people were killed here. Okay, the floods caused a massive mudslide. You see, there was mud running through this road here, as you can see. In fact, it's a section of the motorway. This road here is a section of the motorway, and so was it back in 2001. And it's a heavily traveled road, and there were hundreds and hundreds of vehicles that were swallowed by the flood, by the mudslide, including buses. Okay, and of course, unfortunately, hundreds of people died. The floods also damaged thousands of houses. Some say that up to 2,700 houses were damaged. They were destroyed by this, that flood. And there are even people I know, even family that died in that flood. And it was such a sad event that really shocked all of Algeria, in fact. And the reason for that was that, first of all, the geographical location of this place. Okay, just look at those, it's the tons of water that rained that day came pouring down, the surrounding cliffs, and all the water gathered here in this area. Okay, in this road, and then it became a tunnel, it became a funnel, it became a river, a massive river. And you can, by the way, Google the Bab El Oued floods, and you can also watch videos of it on YouTube. Okay, some of the few surviving videos of that sad event. Okay, and well, you will be shocked. You will be shocked by the strength of that flood. And now we have just reached a place called Skoto here in Frais Vallon. We have entered the area of, we have just passed the area of Oued Rais, which is one of Algiers communes or Algiers municipalities, and we are approaching Triouli, the end of our destination. I might have to stop filming here because traffic police don't like to be filmed. You can see the cableway over there. There is a cableway station, although it's still closed because of the lockdown, because of the coronavirus lockdown. All right, seems that the coast is clear and I can continue filming. And well, this is Triouli. Oh, a pothole. And this is Triouli with its in fact roundabout. They have called it, or they have renamed it, Place El Fida. The El Fida square. And now I'm going to take this roundabout for a while just to show you the area. You can see the cemetery of Al Qatar over there. And now, okay, I think that we have reached our destination. Bab El Oued is straight ahead. The remaining part of Bab El Oued, of course, because this is where Bab El Oued begins, and everything you can see in front of us is part of that famous and legendary neighborhood of Bab El Oued that we will visit in another video. So, all right, if you liked my video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification button so that you receive any notifications about any new and future videos that I'm going to post in the future. I hope that you enjoyed this, and take care of yourselves, and goodbye.